Happy New Year's, guys, and happy 2025. 2024 was an insane year for me, for the channel, and for the content here on the channel, and probably and easily the best year ever. So in this video, I just want to recap a little bit about the top trips, the top impressions, the most insane things that happened, the most impactful things that happened in 2024, because I think I went to like 16 different events and launches abroad and flew more than 50 times across the world. We got to see new countries, new cities, we got to test drive prototypes, and maybe the coolest milestone of all was reaching 50,000 subscribers. So thank you so much for that, guys. And this year's hairy goal is 100,000 subscribers, and I really think that we can easily reach that with the help of you guys. So if this is your 10th time watching my videos, or your 20th time, or maybe your 30th time, and you aren't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below, because it really helps me out a lot. It means that I'm gonna get earlier access to new cars, I'm gonna be invited to more launches, and also YouTube are going to push my videos out to more people, because the more subscribers I have, the more people that aren't subscribed they actually push my videos out to, which just helps me grow and yeah, makes this possible. So thank you so much for that, guys, and yeah, just hit that subscribe button if you aren't already and you are a regular viewer. So in this video, I just want to recap and talk about the highlights, the most memorable moments of 2024. Coming in at number 5 was visiting World of Volvo in Gothenburg, and also visiting the factory or Volvo headquarters in Truslanda in Gothenburg. This was a 2-day event where we got to go to World of Volvo, which is this experience center museum right next to Liseberg in the heart of Gothenburg. And it was a really cool event, getting a private tour of the museum and eating dinner in the middle of the museum with content creators from around the world. It was a really cool experience. And then the other day we were there, we went to Volvo HQ in Truslanda, and we got to see, the crash test facilities, we got to see like simulation facilities, we got to see the wind tunnel. And one of the really cool things that happened to me that, I didn't, talk about on camera, and I'm gonna link that video down below, like more of a vlog style, a really cool day, was that we were moving through some of the buildings there. The HQ of Volvo is huge with the factory facilities and everything in Truslanda. And we were moving through, like, before we went into the wind tunnel. And then we're like, opening doors for like this big group of people. And then this guy, like this one worker there at HQ, he's like, stopped and looks at me, like completely confused. And he's like, "Oh, Chris, I watch your YouTube." And then it just really hit me. It's like, okay, we're there visiting Volvo, and this, random person who works at Volvo follows me, like watches my videos. And that really, made me realize how much impact these videos can have. Like, because to me, I'm just talking to a camera. Like, I'm right here alone in my office, in my studio. I'm editing alone. I do most of my, tests alone. And, how many people view a video or how many subscribers I have is really just, a number on a screen. And it's, events like that and experiences like that that really makes this worth everything, that I really have an impact on people. So if you ever see me on the street, if you ever see me anywhere, just say hi. People do it all the time, but don't be reluctant. Just say hi. Just, it really makes my day. Like, so that was an insane 2 days, just going to the factory, just going to the HQ and seeing, the Volvo Experience Center in Gothenburg. It's an insane building with crazy architecture and a lot of cool Volvos. So if you're ever in Gothenburg, yeah, put it on your to-do list. Coming in at number 4 was the month prior. So going to Gothenburg, that was in June. This happened in May. And this was, at the back of another event where I went to Cupra for the launch of the Cupra Born VZ and the Tavascan in Barcelona. Instead of flying back to Norway, we flew to Madrid, me and another journalist, and we went to the Polestar 3 and the Polestar 4 launch. It was really cool, just going to Madrid. I don't think I've been to Madrid before. Maybe I drove through like as a kid, but I've never been to the city. Like, I'm a huge fan of like architecture and cities. Like, that's one of my, hobbies and interests, like personally. And just going to Madrid, just seeing the beautiful city. Like, I've been to Barcelona several times, but Madrid is just, probably one of the most beautiful capitals anywhere. in the world, and just going there, living at an insane hotel. I mean, this hotel was crazy. Not like something like super fancy, but it was just so nice and upscale, and yeah, just a really nice experience. And we were there like 3 days, 2 nights, driving the Polestar 3 one day, driving the Polestar 4 one day in the mountains north of Madrid, and just going to a launch like where everything was just so organized. It was just super cool, and going to like a 2-car launch and getting to drive these cars like earlier than anybody. Like, I mean, this was a five-week event, I think, Polestar, so they had like the world press. But when you were there, like a small group of people, you just felt so special. Like when I went to Cupra the few days before, I think there were like 40 or 50 journalists. In this group, we were like 16. So it was really special and really cool, and just having lunch in the Spanish countryside, in the mountains north of Madrid. Yeah, just weather being great, just summer, and yeah, such a cool event, you know, just experiencing another country, another place, and just going to these small villages where you would never be. And they, you know, had organized this whole event in these small villages. So, you know, the footage, the videos from there, like the backdrop was just insane. So yeah, that was a very memorable moment of 2024 that I'm not gonna forget. Coming in at number 3, this was towards the end of the year in October, and I got the phone call about this like maybe a week or a few days prior from Porsche, asking me if I want to go to Austria to drive a Taycan 1,111 kilometers through Germany, through like 3 Porsche charging lounges in a challenge against other countries. And I'm like, heck yeah. So this was, you know, we flew down really late, had a layover in Vienna, and then to Zurich in Switzerland, and then they drove us to Austria, and then like the Autobahn was closed, so like it took like 2 hours. I didn't arrive before like 1 o'clock at night, and this started like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I had a co-driver, Isabel, who is a Porsche 911 Cup race driver. And like we had no time to brief, and we were thrown in a Taycan Cross Race Mode Turbo S. Yeah, that was an insane, and like, yeah, go watch that video, because we actually, you know, ran out of electricity twice, but we're still able to finish the challenge. But you know, just driving a car with 952 horsepower, does 0 to 100 kilometers now like 2.5 seconds on the Autobahn. Yeah, that is a different experience, just going VMAX and just pushing the car to the limit, competing against other countries. So to see where we, you know, ended, if we won or if we completely lost, check that video down below. But that was just one day, but such an intense experience, and I love driving fast on the Autobahn. That is one of my favorite things to do. Coming in second place, also in the month of October. The month of October was an insane month where so many things happened here on the channel. But I was invited to Shanghai in China to test drive a car that's coming to Norway this year. A car that's called Xlantics, which is an electric luxury brand of the auto manufacturer called Chery. They're going to launch their first luxury brand in Europe called Xlantics, and Norway is the first country where they're going to launch it. And they were like, do you want to come to China to check out this car? And I'm like, heck yeah. I wasn't necessarily that interested, you know, in the car, but because I'm, you know, interested in travel, I'm, you know, interested in cities, I'm like, yeah, I want to go to Shanghai, like one of the most insane cities in the world, and like the second or the third biggest like city metropolis area in the world. Yeah, and they're like, we're paying for everything, we're flying you business class, and I'm like, yeah, count me in. So like flying business class, like long distance for the first time with, I think we flew with China Eastern, maybe not the most luxurious business class, but you still, you know, had your private seat, you could lie down flat bed, and yeah, a really nice experience. Like I was having the time of my life with another journalist called Joachim from Nybiltester here in Norway. So, you know, we bonded, we had a really cool trip. I arrived and I immediately got sick. So I was like sick for 24 hours. That was terrible. Day 2, pulled myself out of bed. We had like 2 different models, the ET and the ES, and in total maybe like 30 or 40 minutes filming. Yeah, it felt like a waste of time. Like when you go down there and you know they're paying, you know, just I think the business class tickets are like $4,000 or $5,000 or euros, and then the hotels we stayed at. Yeah, this trip was probably just for 3 or 4 days. Like with flights and everything, I'm guessing close to $10,000 or euros. Like and then me getting sick, yeah, I had really bad conscience about that. But you know, we made the best out of it, and they asked like before I traveled, do you want an extra day in Shanghai for sightseeing? And I'm like, heck yeah. So the last day I was feeling fine, so we got, you know, went to the Oriental Pearl Tower. I went to Shanghai Tower, like the third tallest or second tallest building in the world. Yeah, it was an insane experience, and I'm hoping to go back to Shanghai to the Shanghai Auto Show in April. And coming in at number one, the most memorable moment of 2024 happened early in the year in March when Polestar invited me to Jokkmokk in the north of Sweden to test drive a prototype of the Polestar 3 on an ice lake. One of very few journalists. We were 2 people from Norway, and I think in total maybe 6 people from the world who got to test drive this car. Yeah, early access. Like, this was in March. So this was insane. It felt such like, you know, some of these events, like the one I talked about with Cupra, is a big event, like 40, 50 journalists from around the world. And other events, it's smaller. Maybe we're like a group of 10 or 12. And even sometimes, like, it's really intimate, like we're maybe like 4 or 5. But this time we were 2. Me and another journalist from Norway, Vegard from Brum, and just the other few countries, but different days. So we were there for 2 or 3 days. You know, in this insane place where I would have never traveled to. So we flew to Luleå, and then we drove 2 hours into the woods, into Jokkmokk, to test drive the Polestar 3 on an ice lake. And I had with me, you know, for the whole day, Chief of Chassis, Chief Test Engineer, Joachim Rydholm, who's like one of the most famous, you know, chassis engineers of any brands in the world. He's been, you know, in the industry for 20, 25 years plus. And just driving the Polestar 3 on an ice lake with him next to me, yeah, that was an insane experience, like very intimate experience. And we also, one of the days we drove on like snow scooters into the woods, like far into the woods, like 20 kilometers into the woods, up to this cabin. And yeah, just had, you know, there were more Polestar employees and engineers from Polestar than journalists. So I really felt like we had the time to talk to people and get to know people who I've, you know, met several times later. And it was just an insane and cool experience that I'm just gonna remember for the rest of my life. I'm going back to Luleå with Volvo later this year, like in a month or 2. But like just going up there with Polestar for this event, yeah, it felt very special. And I also got to ride in the Polestar 2 Arctic Circle, which is a one-off special car that you know, the chassis engineer team made for just having fun. So guys, those were my most memorable, actually the 5 most memorable moments of 2024 here on the channel. But I have to say, all of the trips I went to feel very memorable. I remember all of them, and I went on so many cool trips, and I can't wait. I have already 3 trips coming up in the next 2 months that I can't wait to attend. So yeah, hopefully 2025 is going to be even more insane, and we're also trying to go to California this winter, maybe next month, to do summer testing of, you know, the Volvo EX90, Polestar 3, and other new cars that have come this fall. So I'm going to link my GoFundMe down below if you want to support that trip. We already raised like 25%, and yeah, hopefully we're going to be able to go there with your help, guys. So guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what was your most memorable moment here on the channel of 2024. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please drop me a thumbs up down below. And for more car content, as always, please subscribe. See you guys later. Goodbye.